All right, let's go. Welcome everyone to Steve Rosenfield's stand-up comedy workshop show, the online edition. We have a couple comics from all over the country ready to perform for you. We're very excited to be here, and by here we mean in your living room or wherever you're watching this. We are with you, and we're here to make you laugh. What you're going to see are some comedians who have trained in a workshop with Steve Rosenfield, the award-winning comedy director, author of Mastering Stand-Up, and the founder of the American Comedy Institute, which was over here in New York City. But even though we're in New York, our students are from all over the country because we are totally online. I'll give you more info about the workshops later on, but basically every single month we have them online with shows both in person at Gotham Comedy Club and like you're going to see tonight online. And I'm your host. My name's Michaela. By the way, our alumni have gone on to do incredible things. They've performed all over the world in the greatest stand-up clubs, also on TV and in movies, shows like Saturday Night Live, Colbert, Conan, Gotham Comedy Live, and more. The list goes on and on. So we're very excited to be here. We have a couple comics making their stand-up comedy debut with us, so double special evening. And I'll just tell you a little bit about myself to begin with here. I am currently in my basement, and my basement loves to flood, so I'm scared. I'm a little scared right now. Basically, I have a duplex, so that's great. You got the upstairs and the downstairs, so much extra space to fill with water. Come on, pool party, splish splash. It's great for entertaining. But it is difficult. It's definitely not my dream apartment. My dream apartment would be above a bakery, obviously. That's what I'm looking for next year. I search it on Zillow all the time. I'm like, I need bread beneath me, is what I'm looking for. I imagine I'd be friends with everyone who worked downstairs. They'd probably stop me before I go up. They'd be like, "Oh, Michaela, a princess. What, you looking down? We know what you need, okay? We got a bunch of rolls that are too ugly to sell. Huh? They're bread. You want them? Yes, that would be fantastic." They'd probably come up the stairs with like a three-tier wedding cake, like, the wedding's off, okay? Don't worry about it. Basically, though, this cake is for you. Amazing. I accept the cake. There might be a little commotion in the morning. I might hear like, "Oh, Paulie, we got so many utensils covered in custards, meringues, and icings. How are we gonna get these clean before we open?" You know what? Send them upstairs. There's like a pulley system. I get a delivery. I'm like, lick, lick, lick. That would be ideal. That would be the dream. I live in New York City. I do. When I first moved here, I thought it was going to be like Sex in the City. It is like No Sex in the Outer Boroughs is the show I'm living in. Do we got any Samanthas in the crowd? What? Samanthas? Any Mirandas? No? I'm a Steve. I've come to discover I am a Steve. And that's a good way to be. I love New York so much that I took a test about it and I became a tour guide. So I am a licensed New York City tour guide. I kind of joined a club of other tour guides, and I found that there are two main groups of people who form the tour guides in New York. One, older, sophisticated, married gay men, and the second group are city witches. If you've been to New York, you've seen these women, okay? They shop at Gristedes, they walk 20,000 steps a day, yet can't stand up. You've seen them. I imagine them in their apartments hovering over a cauldron of like asbestos and one pigeon feather and hot deli coffee, like stirring up their potion, and poof, 1,000-year lease in Greenwich Village for $30 a month. The city witches. They love to tell you how many bodies are buried under Washington Square Park. It's their favorite fact about New York City. They love it. I'm going to go ahead and bring up your first comedian. I believe it's that time. I'm going to do it. I've talked about New York. I've talked about my basement, and honestly, it's raining outside, so we got to get this going because I only have a moment before the water comes creeping in. So your first comedian, I'm very excited to have him on the show all the way from San Francisco, California. This is the hilarious Lou Romano.
Hello, thank you, Michaela. Thank you for hosting. Hello, folks. My name is Lou, and when I was a kid, my dad tried to help me with my math homework, and he was from Italy, and he only made it to the 8th grade, but he was trying to teach me just simple math. 20 plus 20 was the problem, and he said, you got it 20 plus another 20 equal how many? And math was my worst subject, so I was trying to figure it out based on his tone and the emphasis on his words. So I said 20. No, no. Okay, imagine you got it 20 corn cob, 20 corn cob plus another 20 corn cob. How many corn you have? 20? No. Okay. And then he brings out the props. He's like, the salt shaker is the 20 corn. Plus the pepper is another 20 corn. 20 corn, boom. Plus the 20 corn, boom. How many corn you have? 20 corn. Yeah! The flips the table over, the salt and pepper explode, and he storms off. And he didn't even tell me, hey man, it's 40 corn. After that, my parents got me a math tutor. It helped a little bit. When it came to the birds and the bees, the same teacher. So, and when I told my dad what they were teaching us in sex education, he was furious. He said, all you teachers are white Anglo-Saxon barbarians. They don't know about the sex and making love and romance. They all Vikings. I'm gonna teach you. Who you think invented sex? I said, I don't know, Dad. Who? The Roman Empire. You're welcome. Yeah, Romano is our name. Sex is in your blood. It's your destiny. Number one, when you have a sex with the girl, you want to go inside. The girl wants you to go inside. So always remember, never forget. Go inside. Capiche? You understand? Good. Number two, when you take a girl to the dance, bring her closer to you, your body, so she can feel your passion between her legs. Then she's gonna know you like her, and she will become wet like the Pacific Ocean, and you're gonna swim in the ocean. Yeah, baby. I said, Dad, why are we in the ocean? Why? I thought I had to be inside. Yeah, dummy. That's an expression. The ocean is the pussy, and you're gonna swim inside. I said, Dad, I'm 11. 11? You an old man. When I was 6 years old, I was with the girl in the bush going jiggy jig, okay? We have sex in the school, and nobody ever catch me because I was a quick. Ping! Huh? We have sex in the church. Ave Maria. Ah, Yes, Jesus, that's right. I'm making love with your mother. I love virgins. And if you don't do like me, Lou, you're gonna die a virgin. I said, what's a virgin, Dad? It means someone who don't have sex because he is stupid. You are stupid? No, Dad. Good. Good boy. You are smart. So you're gonna go eat the girl in the bush and go jig, jig, baby. And that was um thank you, folks. Have a
Oh,
good night.
thank you, Lou. That was Lou Romano. Lou, I'm just glad that your dad didn't bring in the salt and pepper to describe the sex. That would be a learning tool best for math only. So that was good. I feel like I've learned a whole lot. I hope you have as well. Your next comic coming to the screen, also brand new to the American Comedy Institute. We're so glad to have her. She's all the way from Austin, Texas. Give it up for Yola Lou.
Hello. Hi, everybody. So excited to be here. My name is Yola Lou, and like Michaela said, I am based out of Austin, Texas. A little bit about myself. I am currently single, and I've been using some of the dating apps, and I noticed in the bios of some of these apps that people will write down that they are sapiosexuals. And I did not know what that meant, so I had to Google it. And apparently it means somebody who is attracted to intelligence. So I was like, wow, what a fun roundabout way to find out that we are not compatible for each other. So that's been fun. I am single because I'm currently going through a divorce right now. And people like to just assume that my ex-husband was white because I am an Asian woman. And if you are one of those people, you are correct. My ex-husband was very white. Some might say from Wisconsin white. And his whole family was also very white, to the point that I felt guilty for being in the family because I was like, am I tainting your bloodline? And he was like, I'm not a werewolf. And so when we broke up, I didn't know what to do with his like nieces and nephews' photos. So I decided to just leave them all up on my refrigerator. And sometimes, just sometimes, I will have men come back to my apartment with me. And the first thing they will ask is, hey, why do you have so many white children up on your fridge? And I have to respond, oh, that is my vision board. And then I do not get laid is what happens. So I am in Asian culture, I am morbidly obese. And my mom had sat me down and told me recently, she was like, hey, Yola, you should really think about losing some weight so you could try to attract more men. And I was like, well, actually, Mom, I don't want that because all of the guys that I fuck say that my low self-esteem is the sexiest thing about me. So thank you. I am not great at parallel parking. So whenever I have to park, I will only park between cars that I think I could afford to hit. So last time I was driving with a friend and we were trying to get into a spot and she was like, no, stop doing that. You can't fit in that. And I was just like, I don't care. That's a Chevy Spark, so it's fine. So now I have to pay for a new Chevy Spark, which is great. I did try to kill myself one time. I tried to kill myself one time. I decided that I was going to jump off of a bridge and I put in the bridge address into my Apple Maps GPS. And I got in the car and started driving towards this location. And maybe after like 30 minutes, like the GPS started rerouting me over and over and over again. And I eventually just got so tired that I gave up on the idea of killing myself. So to this day, I don't know if I had angels watching over me that night or if I should have used Google Maps instead. I was pregnant for a little bit. I ended up having a miscarriage. And when I lost the baby, my doctor called and was like, hey, I know that you lost the baby, but would you still like to know the sex of the baby? And I was like, this is the worst gender reveal I've ever been a part of. One more joke for you guys. So like I said, I was using the apps, and one of the apps that I downloaded was Tinder. And I didn't really know too much about the app, except that I knew that one of my friends found her like now husband with it. And so I told all of my friends that I was going to use this app and find true love. And all of my friends were like, Yola, you know that this is a hookup app, right? And I was like, not if your profile is quirky enough. It is not. And so the first guy who reaches out to me is like, hey, do you want to come over to my place? We could drink some wine, watch a movie. And I was like, that totally sounds like a hookup. So yes. So I go over to his house, and it's like a very nice house. And we do immediately start to fuck. And as we finally finished, or I should say when he finally finished, I was trying to leave his house as soon as possible because I wanted him to think that I was like a cool girl, that I could hit it and quit it and not have any sort of like emotional attachment. And then as I was leaving trying to get out of his place, I actually knock over one of his super expensive wine glasses. And like, I could tell it was very expensive because it felt very different in my hands than my $4 for $5 wine glasses that I get at Walmart. And then so I start to panic because his dog comes over and is trying to lick up the wine. And then I start trying to pick up all the broken pieces with my hands. And he was like, no, don't do that. You're going to cut yourself. And I was like, good. That's what I would like to have happen so we could put the attention on something else. And then so he actually takes off his shirt and then wraps up all of the broken pieces with his shirt, wipes up the wine, and then just throws the entire thing in the garbage bin. And I remember standing there thinking like, wow, we live different. And so I start apologizing profusely, and I'm just like, is there anything I could do to make this up to you? And he goes, don't worry about it. Just don't get pregnant. And I was like, okay, I will try very hard to control that. But also it's real cute that you think that I would want to keep your baby, because I probably would. And then, so this is all, unfortunately, very true. I did go and buy him a whole new set of wine glasses. And I decide to go to his house, and then I drop off the wine glasses on his doorstep. And then I text him and I go, hey, drop something off for you. Don't worry, not a baby. And then he never texted me back. So thank you guys so much. You guys have been a great audience.
Yola Lou. Yola, I now can't get the image out of my head of you having a baby and him just wrapping it up in his shirt and throwing the whole thing away. That's probably
Oh my God, that is so funny. I might use that.
Yeah, sure. You're welcome to.
Okay.
That is crazy people behavior. I treasure my shirts, stains or no stains. I keep all my shirts. Oh, good times. Okay, your last comic, a great buddy of mine. She's so funny, all the way from New Jersey. Please put your hands together, because I can see you, and I can see you clapping. So put those hands together for Megan Sweet. And make sure you're unmuted. Yes.
I can see them too, Michaela. I have supersonic eyes, so I'm staring right at you. And I want to share with you all that my bowels are very clean tonight. Sometimes they're not, but I had a colonoscopy last week, so they're really clean. And then I see on their website that they offer virtual colonoscopies. Why didn't anybody offer me one of those? And I was thinking about this, and I want to know what platform people are doing rectal probes on. Is it Zoom? And all I can think about is that the lighting in your house would have to be really good to do this. But I'm going to find out more information and I'll let you know. But my whole family has IBS. It's a big problem. Their bowels aren't just irritable, they're enraged. Everyone gets Gas X in my family in their Christmas stockings. Even Santa knows. And it's not easy to get help for IBS. It takes guts. I tried to organize an IBS awareness walk. Everybody got the runs. But I think the problem is in my family, nobody talks about their feelings. They just shove them down. And I do believe that feelings can cause gut pain. Now, I'm no doctor, but I do think that we should be able to see some feelings on x-rays. So I did get my hands on this very professional x-ray. And it might be hard to see, but what's happening here is there's a big swirling cloud covering the abdominal cavity. So we can't get a clear view, but we did find under the intestine this pocket filled to the brim with anger. Now, research shows that if resentment and anger bind together, this might cause excessive flatulence. My husband and I were at a red light and this guy walked by and winked at me. So I told my husband to make him jealous. And he was like, Megan, that guy only had one eye. He's always winking at everyone. So I said, well, dear, isn't beauty in the eye of the beholder? When I was in high school, a couple of bullies, a couple of toughs, made fun of me for having small boobs. So I went out and got a push-up bra. Because when they went low, I go high. Then I started a small breast club. Unfortunately, I was the only member. But fortunately, that meant I had the biggest rack in the club. And I was so excited. I had t-shirts made with great sayings like, stop staring at my eyes. The magic is down here. They were great shirts. Too bad no one ever read them. I was in my teens when my stepdad came out as an animal psychic. I did not see this coming. Guess I don't have the gift. But as soon as I found out, I got rid of all my pets, just threw them right out. I didn't want them to give away my secrets. But I think it's cool. I don't judge. Animals Can Speak is the name of his book. It's a very practical guide to telepathically communicating with animals, even dead ones. They still have a lot to say. When I was in Reykjavik, Iceland, I went to the Penis Museum. It's actually called the Icelandic Phallological Museum. That's a mouthful. And at the time I was single, and I think, when you're traveling and you're single, I think you just have this kind of different way about you. And I was thinking this is going to be a really erotic experience. And when you're traveling, it's great to have a one-night stand because there's no walk of shame after you leave the country. So it's kind of a win-win, if you will. So I was thinking maybe after the museum, I would make some eye contact with some hot Nordic fella. But the only thing I made eye contact with that day was the 4-foot whale penis sticking out of the wall at the museum. Yes, the whole museum is mostly animal genitalia. And a lot of them were in jars. So I had to go right back to my hotel and shower my eyes. It was very disturbing. So I did not get lucky that night, but it's okay because I'm used to being alone. I'm an only child. And at a young age, I learned to play with myself. Comes in handy. So I've had anxiety my whole life. I got to tell you, I'm a pro. Not to brag. But when the pandemic started, I saw that my sons were getting very anxious. And I was like, I got to help them. So I showed them the one thing that helps me the most when I'm anxious. The Golden Girls. Now I got two sass-mouthed, horny sons that keep stealing my cheesecake. Not fair. But if I may leave you with some advice from this pro, don't hold your anxiety inside. Because if you do, other people's therapy dogs or animal psychics are going to sniff you out. This happens to me all the time. Don't do it. Take care of yourselves. Bye.
Bye, Megan. I bet based on all the animal genitalia in that museum, I imagine that your stepdad probably gets that the most from animals. It's like,
Yeah,
I love my owner, and where's my penis?
I think you're right. You always know.
I know.
You always know. I don't know how you do it. You must be psychic.
Well, thank you all so much for watching, and thanks to the comics for being wow, I just messed up. Thank you to the comics for being a part of this awesome show. Thank you everyone watching now, watching later. We so appreciate it. We have workshops every single month online. Our next one starts November 8th, so there's still plenty of time to sign up. Contact us with any questions. You can go to comedyinstitute.com, send an email to info@comedyinstitute.com, or call 212-279-6980. I feel like I'm on a Stanley Steamer commercial now, but we'd love to see you at ACI. Thank you so much for watching, and have an amazing week. I hope this got it off to a fun start. Bye.